live with that. It is about 7.
Here's 6:15.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. What is it? The 15th. We got Sue and Cassie's there behind us today. So she's going to hang out. Usually I'm done before she's up. So she's going to hang out with us a little bit. If I get her attention there, she can look over and join us. I guess she ain't going to. Want to welcome everybody. Thanks for the new subscribers. Have a couple new subscribers coming up. Sue says good morning. All right. We're going to see. Good morning, Google. Hello, Google. Hey, Google. Good morning.
Hi, you found the new good morning routine. Let's try it together. First, here's some information to start your day. Right now in DeLand, it's 39 and clear. Today, it'll be sunny with a forecasted high of 71 and a low of 40. Next, I'll play the news. And just so you know, you can customize this routine. I can turn on lights, start coffee, play music or podcasts and more. To customize your good morning routine, check out
Google,
routine settings in the Google Home app. Have a great day.
Well, she was going to tell me all kinds of things to do today. Sue's not awake.
Here's the latest news.
Okay, Google, stop. She is nobody's
from NPR News Now at 6 a.m. today.
Okay, Google, stop. Nobody's cooperating this morning. There, Sue's got her chat. I finally got her to look at the camera. Man, this has been a rough start there. Hey, I wanted to thanks for all the comments, and I want to remind everybody we have this little giveaway going on, and what involves is if you're not subscribed, be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button, and it doesn't cost you nothing, and leave a comment of what you would like to talk about in our morning chats. It gives us more to cooperate, to just talk about and stuff, So I want to read. We had gotten one, as soon as I find my comments here. Don Wordslayer, he came aboard yesterday, and he says, I would like to chat about two people traveling in a Class B van, such as a Roadtrek or something, similar to what you have. What we have is a 2001 Roadtrek.
Oh, yes.
190. It's a versatile. And so he says, my wife and I want to start doing some, and really want a Class B van for its mileage and simplicity of driving and parking, but also thinking a smaller Class C like Roadtrek Dolphin, or a 24-foot or less, as my wife is worried about the narrow walking areas in the Class B vans. It says, I'm disabled and my wife works at Walmart, and we also we're on a lower income, partially why I want a decent miles per gallon. Please would love to hear about anything of these, your thoughts and ideas, and maybe some from your readers on it. So, yeah, I thought we would talk a little bit about that this morning. And Sue has a disability, and with our, she has knee problems, and she has a ankle. And tell us about your ankle.
I broke it about 30 years ago. It's a triple fracture, and it only moves very little. So I walk really bad. Plus my knee needs replaced. So I have a bad ankle on one leg and a bad knee on the other leg. So I limp quite a bit.
Okay. So that kind of answers about disabilities. If, it depends on, I don't know what type of disability Don has, and every disability is probably a little bit different. But, Sue has trouble. The Roadtrek does set up pretty high, and you'll have trouble getting in and out, but you can do it with a little effort.
We have a little step stool that I can use when I'm having real extreme pain and stuff. But otherwise, it's a pretty high step for me. But I can manage usually.
All right. So, and then I also talk a little bit about the width of them. They're pretty narrow, and you can get around pretty good in it. I mean, it's with two people, we have to orchestrate our movements. Generally, if one person's going to be doing something, the other person just kind of remains seated down, set down on that.
Don't
would
cook in the kitchen.
Right. Yeah. It's not, the bigger RVs with two people can cook in the kitchen, but with like the Roadtreks and any of the smaller units, you have to switch off and on. There's not two cooks because there's not the room.
I could sit in the back with a table, a tray or something, and do food prep if I needed to pull the one table out that the TV sits on. I could do a little food prep there if you needed me to do that, or I could even sit up front with a table up there and do that to help out.
So these are some of the things to think of. It's not that they're not manageable because you can. What you do is you learn how to move around in it so that two people can pass. It's not, the big Class A's and even a Class C, you have a little bit of a limited space, but a lot of those with the pullouts, you have a lot more room. So one thing that's to keep in mind, just how you move around in your camper. It's not like a house, a house with big hallways, a house with big rooms that are much easier to move around in. So, that is one thing to keep about. The layout of a camper is different. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a 2001. It's a 190 versatile, and we really like it a lot. But there's one change we would have, if we'd known it, is the way the beds lay out. If you're familiar with the versatile, the bed you would lay crossways across it. And the issue with that, with two people side by side in the middle of the night, so you need to go to the bathroom or something, the person in the behind either has to crawl over the one in the front, or the one in the front has to get up, get out, and allow the other one out. That's probably the biggest thing we found. That's the number one thing we don't like about our model. Now, the Roadtrek Popular, the beds, you can make a twin bed and make a small aisle between it, and the person can just get out on the highway and go do what they want. But there is a disadvantage of something we like in our versatile is the way the seating arrangement is. The Poplars, a lot of them, some of them will have up in front, you have your two driver and passenger seat, and then most of the time they'll have maybe one seat on the passenger side. Now, to hang out in your camper and just relax, what we like to do is we have both seats. We have 4 seats in ours, for the driver and passenger seat. Then there's 2 other passenger seats side by side. You can spin the chairs around, and we use the other chairs as a footstool.
I know.
Yeah. Plus and then you have the reclining on the seats that I can actually recline back, just like I'm, and kick back.
It's very similar to a recliner.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to a recliner. Plus, then the television is mounted back by the bed. We have a bracket with our TV on it. You can roll it around, and so it faces up the aisle, and you can sit here and watch television, and it's really nice. Now, we love that feature. That's probably one of the biggest layout features that we like. But the Poplar, it has the one side that you could do that. The other side, it seems to me there's another cabinet goes across there. And I guess you can flip the seat around. And I've never tried it, what your view would be like looking down the hallway, say you want to watch television. Having the other seat as a footstool, you could probably put a footstool or something there to put your feet on. But I don't think it would be as comfortable sitting and relaxing. That's one of the main things. We'll sometimes go out and look at different RVs, go to a couple RV shows. And the thing I look at is comfortability. Some people like just sitting up straight like I am right now, and pretty much like Sue is. I can do that for a while, but after a while, I like to recline back. I love my recliner. That's just where I'm the most comfortable with. And so I look at that type of things when I'm looking at a camper to say, how can I just kick back and get comfortable? I know you spend time outside and that when you're camping, but there is downtime where you just want to just kick back, watch some TV, and relax. Yeah. And I know some people aren't that way. Some people don't even go in. That's their. But other people aren't. But for me, I need a place that I can kick back and relax. So that's something to think about when you're looking at different models. If that's what you're looking for in a camper, that's very important. Maybe it's not. Maybe for you that isn't an important thing.
Another thing that's important to us is having the bed made up all the time. And when we're camping, we kept the back where, which it's like a little dinette area. It would be a 3-sided dinette, U-shaped dinette with a table. We kept it. We didn't keep it made up as a dinette because it's such a pain in the neck to make the bed up at night. So we made it up as the bed. It's a queen. It's kind of like almost a queen size bed back there. So we kept that made up all the time. So if you wanted to go back and lay down, you could. You didn't have to make it up every day. That's another consideration, whether you want to have to make your bed every day. With the 2 twin beds, that'd be all right. You could do that. Leave them made up as beds, because you could still have a sitting space back there if you wanted to.
You can sit on top of the bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And again, you can actually put the table in the middle and, just leave the bed and sit on the bed and have the table if you want to use the table for whatever, put your computer on it, eat on it, whatever on it. So
that's a big consideration. That's also a big consideration.
Yeah. Like right now, the way we haven't camped here just much lately, but we use the Roadtrek. I fly radio control airplanes in that, and we go out to the field, and Sue goes out there and she loves to sit out there when she can see everything that's going on, and she has AC if she wants it, but we leave the back. We don't have the bed made up, and we have it where you can sit back there and lounge. I don't even have the table up right now, but you can put the table up and do whatever you want back there. So we leave it up that way. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Just how I've seen also now. Don had talked about like a Toyota Dolphin, and I knew of them, but I wasn't real familiar. So yesterday I watched a few videos on the Dolphin, and the Dolphin's a cool little unit, very good on gas. And ours gets right now we're getting about 15 miles to gallon just running around with it. I got like almost 16 point something once when I did a trip. And that has a lot to do with your driving ways. I'm not a speed demon. When I take off, I ease on out. I don't put the accelerator to the floor. That'll eat your gas up. So, but that's the Dolphin I've seen where it probably gets about the same as what our Roadtrek does, pretty close in same mileage. From what I looked at the Dolphin, the only thing I didn't like, I didn't see where it had like a dinette set, and where you could just sit down and relax. But again, you're set straight up. There's no place like to recline back. Again, you can see that's important to me. That might not be important to you. Then the other thing, it either have to make the bed up every day, or it has the bed over top of the cabin. Over top of the cabin's fine if you're able to get up in there. And he's talking about disabilities. Sugano could get up there with her bad knee and ankle. She could never get up there. So that's something to keep in mind. Me personally, I've had one of those. I've had a Class C. I didn't like the above vent because I get kind of claustrophobic up there. It's like the ceiling's too close to my face. So I never liked sleeping up there. So in that, therefore, you would have to make the bed up, every night.
Dinette.
You have to take the dinette, set it down, turn it into a bed, And so that's another thing to think about. That Dolphin's pretty cool. I mean, it's a neat little unit. Years ago, I thought those would be cool. I used to have a Winnebago, a Class A, and it was big. And I used to travel around. Back then, I was following sprint car racing. I lived in Ohio, but I would come all the way here to Florida back then. Actually, right here to this area I happened to move to. Been down here for like 20 years now, but I always seen those little dolphins around. I thought, well, that would be a pretty cool little unit, small, to drive in, and it's not so big in that. So I always thought that would be an interesting unit, on it. I don't.
She'd be able to stand up. When we watched yesterday, the woman was very tall, and she could stand up.
Well, I don't know how tall that woman was.
I think she was pretty tall.
Because she said her friend was complaining that the AC where it was pretty short. And so I don't know how tall she was.
Kind of stood like this.
Yeah.
Her head under the AC.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how tall she was. So I don't know, whether or not that was factored. And that's another thing, camper vans, some of them, just a camper van, the van itself, you couldn't really stand up. I watch a lot of different people who live in them and have made a van, but it's just a van, and they pretty much have to sit down when they're in there and to move around.
Or walk hunched over.
Yeah, I watch one channel, Howie Roll. He's my good buddy Howie. He travels. He lives in his van. I think Howie can stand up in his. Mm-hmm. He has a big roof on it, and he was in Key West. He's living down there for, I know, at least a year, maybe longer, but he's been on the travel now. I think right now he's getting close to, he's heading towards California, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he lives in his van. He just started a business doing some vinyl graphics and t-shirts. If you're on there, do a search for Howie Roll, check him out. He makes a cool video on it. So anyway, that's a kind of a little bit about different, vans. But Sue?
Another Roadtrek, we're talking about camper vans, Class Bs. One that would have possibly the 4 chairs, which I did too, 4 chairs, plus the single beds, twin beds in the back. You might want to look at a 200. Isn't that what I said?
Oh yeah, Roadtrek the 200.
200 might be an I. I'm not sure. 200.
And these are the older ones.
The older ones,
yeah.
Right?
The new ones are a little different.
Yeah. We're not interested in the newer Roadtreks at all. From 2006 on, the classic vintage versions.
Is what we're talking about.
74 to 2004, 2005. But the 200, I believe, and it has great, I think, outside pass-through storage, which would be awesome if you had carried some big, long, whatever you needed to carry. But that would be something to investigate, a 200, because like I said, I think they still have the 4 chairs, so you could spin the captain's chairs around and plus have the 2 behind it for lounging, and then plus the ideal 2 single beds in the back, which could be left up all the time. So that's another possibility there to check out.
I was watching another show just on Roadtreks, and it doesn't have to be a Roadtrek. We get talking about Roadtreks because that's what we have. And the one guy, the price of a Roadtrek was kind of up here when they were brand new, and then like everything else, they go all the way down. They bottomed out, but now some of the classics, they're really highly sought after. The price of them has started to go back up again because there's X amount out there, and so the need, I guess, the form people wanting them makes the price go back up again. So the price of those have kind of went back up again. The ones probably in the early say 2001, 2, 3 in that area, you're still looking for a used one anywhere, depending on what it is. But I mean, a real nice one, probably $15,000-$20,000 for a used one. Mm-hmm. So the price of them, and at this point, I don't think they're ever going to go down. You can find some bargains. You look at used ones. There's a controversy on mileage. People looking for a lower mileage. But depending on the year it is, you take say one that's in the 90s that has a very low mileage. The only issue with the low mileage not being used a lot, for one, any issues that comes up probably won't come up because it's not used that much. Plus, I think the seals and stuff could get dried out and stuff. This is stuff to look for in a low mileage versus a higher mileage. We were concerned when we bought ours. It had 150 some miles, 1,000 miles on it. We was a little concerned about the mileage. we haven't had any problem with it.
Great.
Yeah, this has the Dodge 318 motor in it, and it's worked really, really good.
It's a 2001, so it's
yeah, it's 2001, so it's 17 years old. Doesn't use any oil. Between oil changes, if it uses any, it's just a tiny bit.
Generator starts right up.
Yeah, the generator. And using it, I think, really makes a big difference, and maintaining it. We keep ours maintained. When we bought it, there was a whole stack of records how it had been maintained on it. So the person before really maintained it. We put new tires on it. We actually had a blowout. That's something to watch. Is your tires. Tires can look like they have good tread, but yet they get dry rotted, and they will blow out, because we've had that happen. So that's something. Just because it has tread on it doesn't mean that the tires are in that great a shape.
Age is
it's
probably
more about the age. Every I'd say 3-5 years probably the most. I would think a tire would still be safe, because so anyways, we thought we'd talk a little bit about it. And again, I want to remind everybody about our little giveaway. We're going to give away something coffee related here. We're shooting for around 1st of April. All you got to do is be a subscriber. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing there. And leave a message in the comment below what you'd like to talk about on this morning coffee chat. Don, he pretty much was our topic this morning. He gave us some things that we chat about, and I appreciate Don coming on board and subscribing on it. So just leave a comment, a chat there. We haven't got a joke from Google yet. Hey Google, tell me a joke.
What do you call a shoe made out of a banana? A slipper.
That's a slipper. Boy, you'll slip on that wham.
That's how I broke my ankle.
She slipped on
Not on a banana, but I slid on ice. Boom.
All right. Again, I want to appreciate all my subscribers and everybody that does leave comments. And again, leave comments below. We'll talk about them again tomorrow. Everybody this is Thursday. Have a good Thursday.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's coming up on Saturday. So we'll talk about that, get closer to Saturday. So we'll see everybody tomorrow.